My name is Rebecca Fricke. Thank you for coming here. I didn't get the message about the relocation, so I've been running a little. Okay, first I would like to start by saying thank you for coming here to remember those who have given their lives for our country. I would also like to thank all of the veterans who are here today, as well as the families and friends who have helped to support those who have served and who have died during service. My name is Rebecca Fricke. I have lived in Amherst for 15 years. I have many jobs, but I also am a fiber artist, which means that I make art with fabric. For the last 4 or so years, I have been part of a group called the Western Mass Fiber Artists, who work, learn, and put together annual exhibits. Steve Connor asked me to talk today because I'm working on a service flag that is on display now at the Amherst History Museum. For those of you who don't know, the Amherst History Museum is the Stronghouse. It's next to the Jones Library. When we were asked to have a show there, we decided to tour the collection and find artifacts that inspired us. During my museum tour, I was struck by many objects, but the first object I saw was a service flag that was made by the North Congregational Church for its congregants. They sewed stars on for the members who were overseas during World War I. On the white and red flag, there are 12 blue stars representing men who served during World War I, 3 blue stars and red crosses representing women who served, and 2 gold stars representing men who died in service. This started me thinking, what if we had a service flag like that for Amherst now? How many stars would we have on the flag? Who would those stars represent? The Amherst History Museum has little bios of these members of the congregation, and I was thinking, wow, who would we know if we had these stars up on our flag, if I made one today? So I began to think about this, and I was wondering, do I do a service flag for each decade, for each war? And then I thought, no, I want one flag for everyone. So I have started collecting names of veterans who are alive, and families have come to me with names of family members and friends who have died. And I'm up to about 30-something names. And I know there are many, many more names to collect. The flag is now hanging in the museum, and I've donated it to the museum. And I see myself now as a flag lady. I think this is what I'm going to be doing. People have started coming up to me with their names, and I just ask that they give me their phone number and their signature, and I am placing their names on the museum label next to the flag, and it will just continue to grow. I will be there on this Thursday for the art walk between 5 and 8, sewing on, I think, 13 more stars. And if any of you would like to come to help me sew, I can show you how to do it. Or if you have names, or if you yourself would like to be represented on the flag, I encourage you to come up afterwards and tell me your story. One of the really beautiful things that's happened is, I mentioned this to a neighbor friend of mine, and he's now started many conversations with his friends about their service, and I sort of see this as a way to encourage conversations, because I think many of you know that these conversations are hard to have, and this flag is one way to start the conversation. So please, I'll be here afterwards. I have some cards for the show, and come and tell me your stories, and please pass this news on to your friends and your relatives. My only criteria, I don't need anything official, is that you consider yourself from Amherst and you served in some capacity. I have one person from Amherst who just found out that her relative served in the Civil War, and so I have his name up on the wall now. So it's up to you how you define where you're from, but if you're from here now, I'll take your name. So thank you very much.